All right. Welcome. For a first, right? This is just recorded to nothing. This isn't even on YouTube. I'm just gonna be posting this on Thursday. What? So might as well let's do it the right way. Let's start off with the intro. There you go. Good stuff. So the renewal of sectional struggle. I know we're skipping some chapters and we're going to finish up those chapters next week, but this is how we got to do it. I'll post the rest of the chapters and the schedule and stuff because we got to finish chapter 20 before we leave next month. There's not a lot of time left. So, I know it's not ideal. Sorry about that. But, it's a lot of work for me too. I know it's a lot of work for you guys. But we're in it to win it. Together, forever. Right? So, let's go. Let's see what this is. What is this stuff in the background? What are those raisins? Golden raisins? Nah, those are nuggets. Gold nuggets. Right. So, popular sovereignty panacea. It just means a solution. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Popular sovereignty, though, right? They got to solve what this is. They got to decide how these new states, are going to decide if they are slave or free. Remember, we started talking about this in 1820 with the Missouri Compromise. All right. I don't know why I put election of 1800. That's election of 1848. I'm just going to leave it there. I don't know why I put that. 1848, all right? So we had political parties at this point, all right? But we're going to add a new one. We have the Democrats, all right? Their candidate is Lewis Cass. He wants popular sovereignty for slavery in the territories. So any new territory that wants to become a state, the people in that state can vote whether they want slavery, whether they want to be a slave state or a free state. So, it's up to them. That's what it means. I'm going to digress for a second. So you should be watching this on Wednesday, right? I'm going to post it. It's going to go live on, Wednesday night, whatever it is, Tuesday night. You're supposed to be watching this on Wednesday, then on Friday. I believe that's how I set it up. I can't believe I forgot. Then you're going to be watching the Holocaust on Friday. Pretty sure that's how I did it. Let me just make sure while we're doing this. I'm going to tell you guys wrong. Yeah, Wednesday. Okay, I did it. I was doing it right. And yeah, so you should be watching this on Wednesday. I completely had to think about something there for a second. And look at this. That's the one thing about popular sovereignty that you gotta look at. Remember how we talked about people like the politicians don't like to make the hard choices? Well, popular sovereignty is the number one example of this, right? Let's put it on the voters. So if they choose slavery, they can't, or they choose freedom, it's not on us. That's what you guys chose, right? That's what they're saying. And we have the Whigs, General Zachary Taylor. This guy didn't say anything. He was just silent. I mean, look at this guy. A little rough around the edges. Then we have the Free Soil Party. This does not mean you get to go pick up land wherever you want and carry it wherever you want. I know. Or, you need to do some gardening. I really want some perennials around my front porch and go pick up some soil. No. What do you think this means? It means they want no extension of slavery. Free soil, right? They are not. It was created as an abolitionist party. But it included a lot of people, all right? But they didn't want that new land, all right, from becoming slave. A lot of people didn't want the slaves out west just because they didn't want black people out west because they're racist. That's a whole nother badongo of problems, right? I don't even know what a badongo is, but it's a big problem, and that's what they're facing, right? And I know we're gonna get conscience Whigs. They just oppose slavery in general, but really, you're gonna have the Free Soil Party, the Whigs, and Taylor's gonna win the election. What? This guy, I mean, he took no political positions. He was just like, nah, whatever. I'm just gonna, yeah, it's the best. Whatever, it's not the best. Okay, bye, I gotta go. Just nothing. You got nothing out of that guy, right? I think I got what do I have in this voice thing? I got nothing on there. Nothing good. Yeah, well, whatever. Let's go. California Gold, 1848, right? Sutter's Mill, California. Now, the thing with this is, they're going to discover gold in California. This is near San Francisco. This is why you have the San Francisco 49ers. Ha ha! There we go, right? Huge amounts of people are like, gold, 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 we're going out there. The problem is, how do you get to San Francisco? If there are no roads, no railroads, no planes, right? You gotta take a ship. But guess what? That ship has to go all the way around South America. Whew. That's a voyage, right? It's not a 3-hour tour. But they have these new things called clipper ships. You can see an example of it down on the right-hand side. It was a lot faster than it normally was, all right? And you had steamships. You had a rail line that was built through Panama. So what that was you would get off, get on a railroad, go through Panama, get back off, go on a ship, and go on your way, all right? If you don't know the geography of that, you just have to look it up. Most of the people that go out to California don't get rich at all. They don't get nothing, right? The people who really made money are the people who came out there to sell to the people who are coming out. Because what happens when you get out there and you need a shovel? Right? You can't just smelt your own shovel, right? You gotta buy it. And so the people would go out there and they would sell things, like, I'm gonna give you some examples later on, but the prices that things were enormous. There's not a lot of government out there, and it's a huge influx of people. They can't handle it at all. They just can't handle it. So they applied for a free state in 1849. They got the people, all of a sudden, they got enough people, let's get it. We need some help. We need some help dealing with all these people, making sure that they're doing the right thing. So that's what they do. Now, pan mining, aka placer mining, you don't need to know that, but it's just, you see this guy right here, right? He's got this pan, and he's just like, he looks miserable, dude. Put some dirt and some water in there, and spins it around like this. He's like, and gold is really heavy, really, really heavy. So gold falls to the bottom, and the sand floats away, and then you're left, and you get a couple nugs here and there. You get like some flakes, things like that. But look at this fact here. During the height of this gold rush, an egg would cost the equivalent of $25 in today's money. $100 a pound for coffee and $2,500 for boots. Imagine if you rip your boots in half and you gotta fork up $2,500 for boots because you can't get them anywhere else. There's nowhere else to go. So those are the people who made the most money, the people who are making the money off the people who thought they were going to make the money. Messed up, right? Well, that's what happens. They're the ones that most... Now, there's a lot of gold, but it's more for the wealthy, not for the individuals. The people who come in there with a lot of capital, make these big, huge things, that pan, I'm going to show you some pictures of it, that pan tons and tons of gold at a time, not this little tiny, paella pan way of doing it individually. Moon break already. You guys are lucky. You guys aren't going to get this. I don't know, maybe some of you will. Dave Chappelle. That's Dave Chappelle from the Chappelle Show. It just was on Netflix, though. It just got released on Netflix. So, if your parents allow you to watch it, it is very controversial. So, I'm not telling you to watch it. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. This is one of the first ones I made up last year. I think I made this one. Yeah, this is a good one. So, you can see this is a little bit more sophisticated. You would, I don't think yeah. So, what it's doing is this water is running through the dirt. You dump the dirt into these troughs, and there's little tiny steps, almost like it's going down a ladder. And then as it goes down the ladder, it kind of angles backwards. And the gold, as it would fall down, you guys can see what I'm doing here, yeah. As the gold would fall down, it would kind of float back here and land. And then the water and the dirt and everything would keep going that way. That's what they're doing there. This one, it's a little more industrial scale. You can see this guy just blasting the side of the mountain to try and find the gold to wash away the dirt, and you can see the gold because it's gold colored. But this really had a negative impact on the environment. Obviously, you can see how it would. This one, this is that placer mining, but it's just on a much larger scale, so you got a lot of guys here. And this is the problem. There's so much stealing, right? Because gold, you don't need a lot of it. You just need just little tiny bits of it, right? And it's like, how do you stop people from just, pocketing? They find a little nug, you know what I mean? Like a little one that just looks like a rock, and they just put it in there underneath their tongue, right? Or put it in a pocket, or if it's a big enough one, and then they'll just swallow it. And then wait for, people do what they gotta do, and then they get that nugget later, right? That's what they do that in Africa, in the De Beers diamond sorting thing. It's underground. It's like this huge. It's like the size of a city. It's crazy, and they have video cameras on these people who are sorting them on their faces, just like this, like a webcam, like right there, because all you gotta do is just, like, if you got a diamond, diamonds, when I bought a diamond, last winter, they're crazy expensive for something tiny, right? You got a nice big one, just suck it down, right? I know you guys are looking at each other like, what is he talking? I mean, it's true. They just suck it down. You can eat a rock. Especially a big old diamond. there's a part on the cabinets at school. We talk about that. Or a quote thing. It's kind of funny. All right, moving on. Compromise of 18. What? What is that? Oh my gosh. That was funny. So they come up with a compromise of 1850. All right. This is a huge deal. You have to know what this is. All right. This is hilarious. Oh my God, I'm just gonna put. I can't handle those. So here's what it is. Okay. Henry Clay again, right? And you're like, what? This is 1850. We're still talking about. Yeah, we're still talking about Henry Clay. All right. He developed it. It was passed by Stephen Douglas. California is going to be admitted as a free state. Because remember, when you admit states, you're messing up the balance in the Senate. And that's where they write the laws and all that stuff. So, California is admitted as a free state. The Fugitive Slave Act is requiring runaways to be returned. So this is a strengthening, and I know we haven't talked about the Fugitive Slave Act, but this is a big deal because we're going to go to civil war in 10 years. So the Fugitive Slave Act means that, actually we did, yeah. The Fugitive Slave Act, the strengthening of it is any slaves that escape north have to be returned by law, and they have to enforce it. They abolished the slave trade in D.C. We get in the Mexican-American War, I know we skipped over that, but we get all that land, and it's going to be popular sovereignty to decide whether or not that land is slave or free, all right? And there's some disputed land in New Mexico. That's not that important, okay? But some people in the South wanted to expand it into the Caribbean so they could get more slave territories, like make states in the Caribbean, because those are all sugar plantations, right? And they're all full of slaves. So they just want that that's how important it is to have a new territory, a new state in the Senate, because then you have that representation to fight for what they believed was the right thing, which it wasn't, obviously. But that's how important it is balance. Let me make sure we don't go too far. So here it is. All right. Let's go. Let's just stop right here. Bloodhound Bill, man-stealing law. It said Northerners had to capture them and return them, or you could be put in jail. And then federal officials start getting paid for returning them. Now, before it was just you had to return them just to return them. Now they're getting paid. And this is going to be the problem. People start just straight up kidnapping people that are not slaves. This is the book 12 Years a Slave. He is kidnapped, forced into slavery for 12 years. Right? He was never a slave. He's never freed. It's not like a paperwork problem. They just straight up kidnapped him and said he was somebody else. So a lot of Northerners that were on the fence, they're like, okay, I'm done with this. This is really going to push the country apart. Because they see this, especially when they see people getting kidnapped that they know aren't slaves and people are taking, it gets really, really bad. All right? So, I mean, that's basically, I don't need to explain that stuff. We're at 20 minutes. Let me see what's the next. So you can see This would be somebody that would make up $150, a lot of money back then. So, and this would be describing what he is, another one, this is, her name is Mary, right? Now we're the election of 1852. Let's see. What do we got here? 20 minutes. That's good enough, right? You guys got a lot of work to do. And then we'll finish. There's only about like 8 more slides, and then we'll finish that when I get back, okay? So, yeah. Good times. That's it. We got it. We're done. We did it, guys. Chapter 17, at least parts of it, alright? I'll see you guys when we get back. I'm going to talk to you again in like 2 hours for me, because I'm going to do the end of chapter 12, so, but that's for us. Deuces.